So what was the day of that legendary skit you were part of like?
Um, so yeah, the day of. Oh yeah, so Raw, you got to get there around noon, I guess. I remember. So you get there early, and I guess we got our script pretty early. And oh no, what happened was I got called in with Russo. He's like, "Oh, I was walking around like a mark all the time. I found Russo writing. He's like, "Come in here and help me, Jason, bro. I am working on your segment right now." So I'm now working with Russo on this segment. So I had a lot of fillers and lines to add in. So some of those lines that I wrote with him, it was really cool actually. That moment working with Russo, I was sitting there like my mindset was this was my whole life's dream since I was a little kid, like to be the Mean Gene or to be a part of this business. So my mindset I was in was like, I'd made it now. I'm going to stay here. I was supposed to be here. All the stars are aligned. So I'm now looking to the next thing. Like, what am I going to be doing here? So sitting there working with Russo, I was like, this is good. We have connection. We were throwing ideas at each other for those minutes so fast, coming up with so much funny shit that I was like, this is where I'm going to end up. I'm going to end up working with Vince Russo. And I had been a fan of his for so long, reading his work in the Raw magazine. And now to see that he's the guy behind this, he's the guy behind all of this attitude era madness going on, and the raise in popularity, like he was a strong pencil behind it all. So to see like he's running this and now I'm sitting with him and we're going back and forth. I'm like, this is it, man. I'm gonna be working with Russo in the future. So anyway, and I think Russo even went to them and said, bring Jason into the meetings, into the meetings. Like everything was just going. It was like it seemed like it was going to be a lifelong job for me. And I was just connecting with everybody perfectly. But anyway, and so once we finished that script, now we had only so many hours to memorize it. I didn't realize that part of Raw and wrestling. Now it was like all those years I didn't study for my tests. It was, oh my gosh. So that was a scary part. Definite butterfly in the stomach, having lines to memorize, you know.
Did you have to run any of it by anybody? Say, hey, does anybody do that when it comes to your line of work? Do you see the guy beforehand and say, I'm going to say this, or do you just do it?
That happened later, actually, when I was doing the corporation parody with the Nation of Dominate. Oh no, sorry, with DX doing the corporation. So I was supposed to be doing Shawn Michaels that night, and Vince Russo comes up to me with the lines, but I had written funny lines. Now I thought it was going to be just like last time, like we put the lines together and we used both our lines. He was so busy now; it had been 6 months or so later, and he wasn't the same guy. It wasn't the same show. The show was moving so fast now. There was a SmackDown show now. There was too much going on. It was so I couldn't even get to Vince Russo now. I couldn't even get through to him. So I'm trying to talk to him. He's like, bro, no. I'm gonna write this soon. So he hadn't even written it yet. He didn't want to hear my jokes. Then he comes back to me and he's got it written, and it was the cheesiest thing I'd ever seen or heard. And it was just like I was an afterthought. I wasn't important. So I wanted to make myself an important part of this segment. So I'm like, come on, man. Like, can I put one of my jokes in here? He's like, Jason, it's written. Like, I gotta go. Like, study these. And I'm like, can I throw one in here? He's like, which one you want to put in? And I'm like, Shawn doesn't lie down for anyone because he's always bending over. And Russo was like, bro, no fucking way am I gonna let you say that like off of me. You want to say that, bro? Joke. It's a funny joke. It's a funny joke, but you want to say that joke? You go to Shawn. You go to Shawn. You ask Shawn if you can use that line. If he says okay, then okay, bro. So I go to Shawn and I'm like, Shawn, can I use this line? And he's with all these guys. And he's like, hold on, hold on. Jason's got something to ask me. And we had kind of a good candor already. So from the last times I'd met him. So I was like, can I use this one line tonight? He's like, what's the line? I'm like, you don't lie down for anyone because you're always bending over. Do you think I'm gay? And I'm like, no, no, I don't. It's just like a line for the show. And he's like, no, because I know you're a big Brett fan and he had the Playgirl jokes. And now you're here with this joke. I just want to know, do you think I'm gay? No, I don't think you're gay, Shawn. This was just a joke. And I was so scared shit. Like, he making me sweat there. And then he's like, okay, as long as you don't think I'm gay, you can use it. And he pats me on the back. I'm like, really? Oh, thanks. I saw Russo and I'm like, Russo. Everyone was moving so fast there, you couldn't get anyone at the time. And he's like, I said, Shawn gave me the okay. He's like, then fucking use it, bro. Fucking use it. Like he knew something I wouldn't know, that I would get heat for this later.
Right.
Anyway, so then I did that. And then later in that segment, I pulled out another joke, like HB gay. It was the only one I just slipped in there, but it was the worst one. Lawler loved it and repeated it. And I got heat for it that I didn't realize until later. But anyway, what are you going to do? I had
Did
the,
it?
oh, sorry, go on.
Did anyone say anything when you got to the back?
Actually, Vince loved it. No one said anything. Ed Ferrara came up and he's like, now we've got you back on Raw. You're going to go back on Raw going forward every show. It was the next week when I wasn't on the show, I realized I had fucked up. And I think maybe later, much later down the road, talking to Russo, he's just like, just follow my lead sometimes. These guys will let you in and then they just want to reel you in to see what you're willing to do. But I also that night I had Carl DeMarco saying, go against the lines. He's like, Jason, this is your night. He's like, now you've been off TV for 6 months. You've got to get back in there somehow. Make it. Because I went to him like, look at these lines. They suck. He was backstage that day. And he's like, Jason, you really got to, like, you got to really give it to them this time and go out there. I don't care what lines are written. Give it to Shawn about being in the Playgirl magazine. And he was just go out there and be the funniest you can be. Use all your jokes. Be as funny as you can. So I had that in my mind too. And that's a tough thing when you're young, getting advice from different people and who do you trust and who do you listen to and who's giving good advice or bad advice. It's just, anyway. You live
You
and
know
you
what?
learn in that business.
You know what, dude, Jason? It all could be considered good advice, but it just depends on what day you do it on. Because
Yeah, that's
if
true
you
too.
did the same thing the next day, it might have been the greatest thing ever. It just depends on what kind of mood everybody's in. You
Yeah,
know?
so true.
Talk to me about Cameo.
Cameo. Oh yeah, Cameo. So yeah, if you can find me on Cameo at Jason Sensation X, and yeah, if you want a greeting or a message, an impression, birthday greeting, want a little put together a little segment you want to create between wrestlers just for entertainment, or even if you want, which some people like, is to get their answering machine greeting done in a wrestler of your choice or any celebrity impression I can do of your choice. Hit me with it on Cameo at Jason Sensation X. Thank you very much.